Okay, good morning, everyone. I was totally having trouble with getting this live set up this morning. I do have questions from my channel memberships. I hope everyone is doing okay this morning. Sorry, I'm still getting things together here. Like I said, I was having trouble getting this set up. Give me 1 second. 2 seconds. Okay. Sorry. Probably shouldn't have started the live stream just yet if I wasn't actually ready, but this just took like 10 minutes and it was not working. Okay. Okay, that's fun. Good morning, Jillian. Yeah, no news releases for the last 2 weeks. Jenny did a parody one. She made a joke. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but she made a joke. I'm not sure if it's like things that they should have said or like jokes about like what they would have said if she would have made one. But a lot of people thought she was serious about that. Rasar, you feel sorry for India. You have family there. What part of India? I've been to Mexico, but outside of Mexico, which is like right near California, so I almost feel like it doesn't count. India is the only other foreign country that I've been to. Yeah, it's crowded there. I hope that we don't have a 2020 repeat. Yeah, no press release, Linda. Yeah, they're just silent. They are tweeting a lot. And I don't know if you guys want me to like post the tweets as like a community post where you can just read those. If you're not big on Twitter, if you want me to make YouTube videos covering those tweets, let me know. Because I can certainly do that. Sorry, I'm typing. Okay. All right. I'm sharing my Claimyr code, guys. I do want to talk a little bit about that. I've asked the CEO if he wants to call live on this chat to talk to you guys about it. And I'll tell you why in a second. Enrique says, do I know what this American Rescue Plan letter they are sending out? Yes, we are going to talk about that. That's actually one of the questions from my viewers. So before I get into that, let me say what I'm going to say about Claimyr. And that's the service that will dial the EDD for you. It will not really do anything else besides dial them for you. It's not going to hold for you. Hold times are still going to be 2 hours. It's not going to get you a rep that can fix your claim. That's still the luck of the draw. However, when I personally tried to call the EDD, my cell phone literally overheated. I had to take my phone case off. And it's the redialing. And you guys know you can't even quickly use my trick, which is to hit 134 until you listen to that awful message, which that message is almost 2 minutes long. So Claimyr it's an auto dialing service, which I guess is different than a robocall, because I know a lot of people are super mad about them. And they're like, well, that's why I can't get through to the EDD, because Claimyr's using these bots to call. That's not how it works. I don't exactly understand the difference between auto dialing and robocalling. I will be upfront about that. But they say that basically, like if I was going to call 200 times, instead of me calling 200 times, it calls the same 200 times. So it's not like clogging up the lines more. It's clogging up the lines the same as if I were doing it myself, except I don't have to do it myself. So I still believe in trying to call for free. But if you're going to use that service anyway, use a discount code. That's all I'm saying. And I do have that pinned. Okay, let's get into the member comments for today. Okay, the member questions for today. Kay just wanted to let me know that their claim did go through. They did get to call the EDD today at 8:01 a.m. And the rep pushed the pending weeks through. A lot of times if you call, that is what will happen. The rep can push the weeks through. Now let's talk about that other question about the American, the Continued Assistance Act is what it says. This was sent to PUA people, that you need to submit proof of income either with 2019 or 2020 tax returns. So you're going to want to send whichever one matches the closest to what you put was your net income if you were PUA for your income. And then the other two questions that this person asked, I haven't seen the letter yet. So if anybody wants to send that to me on Instagram, I would love that. The last day worked before COVID. So the last day worked before COVID, even if you worked like maybe part-time for yourself driving Uber once COVID hit, you're going to want to use the day before the start date of your claim. So if your start date of your claim was May 1st, you would use April 30th, but of 2020 for the last day worked. Because how I'm interpreting that question is the last day you were able to work regular hours, not reduced hours before the pandemic hit. And then there's another part that says, were you scheduled to begin work that was interrupted? So for people on PUA, remember, you didn't actually have to be working and have a job. Like if you were in college and you had a valid job offer, but you were never able to start because the pandemic shut that job down, you could also get PUA. So it looks like you're going to, that you could answer no to that as long as you're able to show self-employment wages on your tax return. So that's what I know about that, but I haven't seen the letter yet, so I don't know what else is in there. Roxette says, what's going on with automatic payments from the IRS for those who filed their 2020 taxes before they forgave the $10,200? And they are supposed to automatically send you back any overpayment that you were due or any additional refund that you were due, but that's going to go out in May, which it's May now, or June. So that's what that is. Bartholomew says he's on FedEd, refiled on the phone on 3/15, got the invalid claim letter, and then the new award letter, which the invalid claim letter is going to take precedent over the new benefit award letter. And if they wanted the debit card, he was told to keep certifying until FedEd runs out. Everything went smooth, but went back to the main page and certifying 2 weeks banner is missing. The balance is zero. Do they automatically put me on the new extension? I'm confused because the come back and certify in 2 weeks banner is gone. So what is supposed to happen is it is supposed to be automatic, but many people have reported that they actually have to call. On that, if your balance just hit zero on FedEd today, though, I would wait about 5 business days. So if it's not updated by Friday with a date you can certify, that is when I would call the EDD. And it's normal to see a $0 in your claim balance and that maximum benefits paid message until you certify again. But you should see a certify next date on there, but it could take 5 days for that, about 5 days for that to show up. Rosa said, I received a text from the EDD telling me they filed PEUC, but I don't see any weeks for me to certify. I'm supposed to certify tomorrow. They usually email me. What should I do? And again, unfortunately, that's one of those cases where you have to call. And I know some of you guys are getting frustrated. You're like, there's no new information. You just keep telling us to call. And again, unfortunately, a lot of times I might know why you're pending or you don't have a certification date, but I can't fix it for you. And I hate that. That's the truth of the matter. I can try and assure you that you're not alone in this. But to actually get solutions and get paid again, oftentimes the answer is to call the EDD. Okay, and that's all those questions. So now I'm going to jump in to your questions. Frank says, if my venue asks me to return to work before September, do I have to take the job back? You're supposed to, yes, because otherwise you would have to answer that, yes, you refused work. And if you answer yes, that you refused work, which would be the truthful answer if your job called you back, then you're not going to qualify for unemployment benefits anyway. And then if you told your job you can't come back, then you might not have a job to go back to in September. I will say this, I'm back at work and we've called a lot of employees, and I know that it's hard if you don't feel safe to go back to work or if you have kids and you can't go back to work. But we have plenty of employees that just want to work just enough so that they could still get unemployment benefits. It's possible that your employer might be able to work with you. Maybe you can say, hey, I can come back, but my availability is pretty limited. Can I just work 1 or 2 shifts? And it is possible to do some work sometimes and still qualify for some unemployment benefits, including that $300 boost. I know it's hard to go back to work if going back to work means that you'll be making less, but yeah, but you also don't want to find yourself completely out of a job in September. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense. Okay, Ben says, PUA should last until September with no changes done midway from now to then. I don't think EDD will touch anything with PUA or any federal extensions like FedEd and PEUC. And how am I? I'm doing well. I'm going to go see my mom today. I'm excited about that. This is the first day. I don't have to take her to any doctors. We're not having plumbing issues. So she's excited to see me, and I hope that we can actually have fun instead of dealing with like life's unplanned headaches. You guys, there is some stuff with PUA going on, and I haven't talked a lot about it because California hasn't done it yet. But in addition, like before with PUA, you weren't having to provide income verification if you were only receiving $167, which is the lowest amount for PUA. But they may be asking for some sort of documentation to show that you were self-employed or that you had a legitimate job offer. And it sounds like that paperwork has started to go out. I don't want to alarm anybody. That was part of the Stimulus Act. I don't know what will be considered proof. Again, on Instagram, I'm Shelly's_millions, and you can maybe send me a screenshot there. I don't respond to comments on there. Now that I'm back to work and doing YouTube, I can really only respond to comments on the videos. So that's not a good way to get questions answered in general, but I would love to see that form that's going out. Savannah says, I got my new claim. I certified last week, and usually I go to paid in about 72 hours, but it's been pending for a week. Should I call? Does EDD want people to call? EDD probably does not want people to call. However, anytime you file a new claim, even if the new claim is denied, both claims, the new one and the old one, go into a review period. That review is done by a third party. It can take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. That is most likely the only reason why you're pending, is that it just needs to complete that review process. Just for your peace of mind and to make sure that there's no other issues going on, I would recommend calling. My feeling is that they're going to tell you it's just that your claim is in review, but you want to be sure that that's the only reason why it's pending. Sean says, what's up? I have 0 balance, new claim, but no certification button yet. EDD tweets are like daily now. How's the movie theater? I went to the theater Saturday for the first time in over a year. We're slow, guys. I don't know how every movie theater is, but we're very slow. I feel safe there. I would feel safe bringing my mom there. My mom is not vaccinated. She's never going to be. She's highly allergic to everything. But I feel safe. Like our air conditioning's good. We have like the proper filters that don't let the virus through. Case rates are down, and the movie theater is pretty darn empty. We're not anywhere even near. We could be at 50% capacity, but we're not even reaching 25% capacity. So there's definitely space to spread out, keep more than 6 feet distance. And that makes me feel good. Like I feel safe being back at work. I am fully vaccinated though. So that might be part of it. Good morning, Toya. 213 Noah says pending 3 weeks were paid, but 3 say not paid. And again, I would call them about that because it's hard for me to know exactly the reason it would say not paid. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Tia says, good morning. Mark says, why is my new weekly amount less than before? So that could be if you were going from FedEd and you were approved for a new claim, that could mean that your weekly benefit amount is lower. If you are on PEUC when your benefit year ended, if your weekly benefit amount is more than $25 lower, they are supposed to continue paying you the extensions on your old claim at the higher weekly benefit amount. Peter says, until when is the extra benefits going to be? So I'm thinking you're talking about the extra $300, and that goes through the week ending September 4th. Aaron says, do I have to wait until my claim is officially expired before I can file a new claim? No, but it's pretty close. You don't want to do that until about 5 days before your current year ends. George says, so everything I've done, everything I needed to do, and I'm on my 5th week waiting on my first check, and I have 6 weeks pending. What do I do? George, I know you're telling me that you did everything. Unfortunately, I only have so many tricks in my bag. Those tricks, you know what I'm going to say. It's call the EDD, use the Ask EDD feature, use Contact Us, and reach out to your assembly member to have them help get you paid. That link will be in the description of this video afterwards. Since I was having problems getting the stream started today, I didn't have time to put in the description. But it's in all like my other live videos. It's in like all my videos from, that are recent, like within the last 3 months. So yeah, definitely email your assembly member. Emily, good morning. Is anyone else waiting for an interview for the EDD? My nephew has been waiting for someone to call for over 6 weeks. They said they would send a schedule, but still nothing. That's one of those situations I would call. I would say, hey, do you have a timeline when this phone interview is going to be? Definitely something I would list the help of your assembly member about. When you're contacting the assembly member, guys, I don't recommend calling. I do recommend emailing so that you have a written trail of what's going on. What I recommend you tell them is, hi, I haven't been paid by the California EDD in over 6 weeks. They say I need to have a phone interview. They have not scheduled that for me. Then this part's important. Say, I am experiencing a financial hardship. Is there anything that you can help me do to get paid faster? And then hopefully they can help you get paid faster. I'm so sorry. 6 weeks is a really long time to be pending. Andrew says, my 29-week extension is paying fine. No issues on it at all. But it has me wondering, as it is the EDD, do you think issues can pop up again? Only one I can think of is work search requirement changing. Yes, on a regular claim, I would think that the only thing would be if work search requirements changed, which as of right now in the state of California, they have not. Work search requirement is still waived for us as of right now. That could change now that cases are coming down. Sally, thank you for the donation. You got a message in my inbox titled Determination for PEUC. It says comp peer 2. So I'm thinking extension tier 2 last week. It says they filed an extension for me. Do I wait 2 weeks? I can't certify. If this was supposed to be your regular certification day and you were not able to certify, I do recommend calling them. It's not really normal to skip a certification cycle. It should pick up without delays 2 weeks exactly after your claim balance hits 0. Now, you won't see your claim balance increase above 0 until you certify again. But if you haven't certified for 2 weeks, or if you had like 1 week paid and the second week pending, or the second week NA, sorry, not pending, second week NA, that would be you're switching between programs, and then you might even be able to certify the very next week. So if it's been more than 2 weeks since you've certified, then I would recommend calling them and say, hey, I don't see the option to certify. What's going on? Please ask them to give you it. If they say, oh, you just have to wait, please, be very nice to these reps. They get a lot of calls. They're frustrated too, I'm sure. I'm sure they're not happy that the system's not working right. And they get calls from angry people that are suffering and we're sad and we need that money. But so very nicely just say, do you have any idea how long this might take? Try telling them that you're having financial hardship too. Sometimes they have a way to push the payments through faster. So yeah. Okay. Toya is saying that Claimyr is good. Used it once and the discount code works. Oh, that's something else I wanted to say. I know that a lot of us have to call the EDD multiple times. I know that a lot of you use Jenny's code. I don't care whose code you use as long as you're saving yourself that $5. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a referral bonus when you guys use my link. But if you already used Jenny's link and you want to call the EDD again, unfortunately, it won't work to just put in Shelly's link this time. It goes by phone number, so it knows if you've already used their service or not. So the discount code is just good for the first call with them. If for any reason the call gets dropped while you're waiting or once you speak to an EDD representative, if they drop the call, Claimyr will call them back for you within 24 hours. But the discount code's just good for one time. Okay. Yeah, and a lot of people are really happy using it. So I'm torn. I don't feel like you should have to pay to get through to the EDD. But since so many people are using it anyway, like might as well save $5 if you were planning on using it. If you're not planning on using it, that's okay too. Still, I recommend calling 833-978-2511. Listen to that long intro message, then quickly hit 134. I do still recommend trying to get through for free first, maybe 10 times in a row. But if you're over it, and you just don't want to dial all day, I think dialing is the harder part because you can't like just put it on mute and do something else. You have to actively redial. Then Claimyr is great. Tommy, thank you for the donation. Okay. Ramon says, I'll be on extension after 3/14. I got paid for 2 weeks, but after that I've been pending. And 5 weeks are already pending. What should I do? So Ramon, call them and see if they can push it through. A lot of my viewers are saying that once they call and get to a rep, that the reps are able to push the payments through, especially when it's been longer for like three or more weeks. Also, if you call and you can't get through or you just absolutely can't get through, definitely email your assembly member and let them know you're experiencing a financial hardship because you haven't been paid in that long. Savannah, thank you for saying that I look pretty. I had time to get up today and do my makeup and stuff, and I'm going to go straight from here to my mom, so I wanted to be ready. I don't know what we're going to do today, guys. Since she wants to have fun, she's old too, guys. Like I want her to like experience life. She's just been home. She lives in a trailer. She's just been home in that trailer for like the last year. So I want to take her somewhere now that cases are down, not like a movie theater where she's just sitting inside. There's a Lego exhibit that looks kind of cool at the California Museum of Art or the California Science Center. And then she also really likes cars, and I've lived in Los Angeles my whole life. I've never been to the Peterson Automotive Museum. So I'm looking at those, but both of those close at 5. So I don't know if there's enough time for us to like get there and actually see everything, but she's old and can't walk around that much anyway. So maybe she doesn't want to see everything. I don't know. Either way, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to take her to, and it'll be a surprise. She doesn't know that I'm not just going to come and like sit with her the whole time. Tyler, what have you not received yet? Frank says, you have 18 weeks pending and you haven't heard anything from the EDD. My heart breaks for those of you that haven't been paid since December. And I wish that I knew a way to get you paid beyond those 4 tips. I really do. You guys, you know that I'm friends with Jenny Silver. Please watch her video about getting in contact with an EDD attorney. Unfortunately, there's nothing that the attorneys can do. EDD doesn't really get penalized if they haven't paid you for that long, which is a crime. But maybe there's something that they can do to get your case moving and get you paid. And definitely try your assembly member by email. What have they said? Because a lot of times they're able to get claims moving. Augustine says, I'm still pending for 6 weeks since January. I'm on the 13-week PEUC. What's next? The 11 weeks. Yes. After the 13-week PEUC extension, the next extension you'll get is the 11-week PEUC extension that the reps will sometimes call PEUX, and it would say extension tier 2 under payment type. You got to get those other 6 weeks paid. You guys are part of that group that the EDD put in writing. This was the last news release that they did. They put in writing that they were going to have all of those claims fixed by April 17th. And then they didn't. And they haven't said a peep about it afterwards. And it just makes me sick. It really does. Like, at least let people know if there was a delay or if there's a new timeline or just any kind of communication about what happened, what went wrong. Like a timeline, a real timeline, an apology for not meeting the original timeline. I'm gonna cry, and I did do my makeup. That's so long. These 6 weeks, 18 weeks. It really truly breaks my heart. EDD Edgar, thank you for the donation. You're lucky you got your 29 weeks and you're not pending anymore. For 4 weeks, you got all your weeks, and this Monday, you called and waited 4 hours and got through and fixed like 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks ago, call them. Yeah, I mean, you guys just have to be persistent. You guys don't have to use an auto dialing service, but like Ed EDD Edgar, again, thank you for the donation. I'm curious, in the chat below, how you said 4 hours. How much of that time was spent just dialing versus holding, or how many times did you have to call before you actually got through? You guys, you know what? I just realized Jenny Silver always looks at her phone when she's doing these. And I just realized that that's so that she could see she can watch her own live and see what your response is. Sometimes I'm slow on things like this. Like, I don't get it. I don't want to watch myself. Oh my goodness. I have to watch an ad just to get to my own thing. Okay. I'm going to skip my own ad. LA Barbie, thank you so much for the donation. Oh, I really appreciate that. Just stopping by to show some love. Okay. So Ed, let's see here. How many calls did it take you? How many licks does it take to get to the center of the lollipop? How many calls did it take you to get through to that stinking EDD? Oh, Disneyland. I think the ticket. Okay, that's a little out of my budget, Ed. EDD Edgar. I know you just gave me a donation. I know I'm back to work, but Disneyland, that's not in the budget. As it is, like some of those other museums, like the Peterson and the California Science Center, that's like a $30 or $40 dang, you guys. That's still a lot of cashola for me. I lost my place. Might as well drink some water. You guys know what it means when I lose my place. Means to please like the video. And you know what? I'm happy because I only see 235 of you in here today. And normally there's like more than 300, for sometimes pushing 400, which I really, really, really hope that means that more and more of you are getting your claims fixed and that you don't need me as much anymore. I enjoy talking to all of you. Okay, looking for my place. Okay. B. Roke says, hello, Shelly. I need help. Got my award letter for the extension back on 4/20. My page is not updated at all, and it still says I'm exhausted my benefits, and I don't know what to do. Baroque, I know that you watch the channel a lot. So you know what I'm going to say, and probably the only one that you really haven't heard or may not have done yet is that reaching out to your assembly member by email. I strongly prefer by email because you're going to, what's the word? I can't get it out. Because that way you have a written trail and dates of when you reached out to them and what their response was. Karen, oh, thank you for the donation. Oh, for my mom. Oh, you know what? I'm going to see if I can use Jenny's trick, which is looking at this. Look at your previous message. Let's see here. Karen says, everyone needs to call their local assembly person. EDD is a disaster and no accountability. I totally agree. Here's the thing, though, right? The news outlets know. Between Jenny Silver and I, we have a lot of subscribers. There's no way, like, I'm sure the EDD does know about us and that we're trying to help people. There's other unemployment channels popping up. I'm sure the governor knows. At the beginning of this, I called the governor's office. That's above like your local assembly member. The assembly members are starting to get overwhelmed. They're starting to not be able to like help either, unfortunately. Everybody knows and they are not able to fix it. And it's so mind-boggling. Except for like, this is how, I don't know, Karen, I know you're a regular. I don't know if you heard me do this analogy before. It's like as if your car check engine light comes on it came on years ago when the last recession happened. And they said, oh my God, my check engine light came on. And then that recession ended. Your check engine light goes off. You didn't really have the money to fix that problem to begin with, so you don't think about it because your check engine light's not on. And then your check engine light comes back on, but this time it doesn't go back off. It stays off, which we're the check engine light here, guys. We're on and we need help, but you never had the money to fix the problem in the first place. And yes, there've been money to add to the EDD, but not to like completely overhaul the entire computer system and that really old programming. I absolutely think they know, but unless they're really given like a hefty budget, and then where's that money going to come from? Like, I think the extra funds that they've been given, because the EDD was given, or the state was given extra money to try and help unemployment, but it's so messed up that they had to use that to add more customer service reps to, I don't know. I also think probably their director makes a little bit too much money. Her salary is insane. I've heard it's $200,000. Anyway, sorry, end rant. Back to your question. I am at 11:06 in the questions, so I'm 24 minutes behind already. Vanessa says, is the IRS supposed to pay us back? IRS will auto amend the $10,200 tax forgiveness. I use TurboTax. Yes, they are supposed to automatically do that, and any difference that you're owed should be automatically sent to you the same method that you got your refund starting in May. I think they're supposed to be done with it by the end of June. Jose says, I received a message on UI saying that they have automatically filed an extension tier 2. I am on the FedEd and I have 1 week paid, 1 week pending. Any info on that? So a lot of people, even PUA people today, had 1 week paid, 1 week pending. That can just be as they're switching you between programs, and it can be because there's a glitch. So I would give that about 72 hours to see if that second week changes to paid. And if it hasn't, that's when I would recommend calling them. Tyler. Oh, Baroque. I skipped Baroque's other question. I have a friend that was on the same boat and she was able to certify. I just don't understand. Everything's really messed up. And somebody else like broke my heart in the comments because sometimes you get a rep and they're trying to help and they seem to mess up the claim so bad that then the next rep tells you something different. They do something else to your claim. And then there's so many changes that it seems like they're actually making it worse instead of making it better. But when you get that good rep that can get you paid, it's all worth it. Okay. Savannah says, when I say that I'm looking for work, it now brings me to a page to type in which employers I search for. I press skip. I never got that on my old claim. Will that affect my payments? No, not as of right now. You are allowed to do that. So don't worry about that for now. The work search requirement is still waived. And actually, it might be like 2 certification cycles. So 1 month where you have to hit skip, and then it should actually change your work search requirement. So it stops bringing you to that page. So yeah, you're doing everything correctly and that should not cause you problems on your claim. But notice I say should because it's the EDD. So I can never guarantee with certainty that something won't, but that shouldn't. Okay. Andrew says, I hear people haven't even received the new 29-week extension, and then EDD retracted their April 17th promise date. Disgrace. It really is a disgrace. You are right. XPX1 asks if I'm collecting unemployment while working. I am not. I am making too much, just barely. Isn't that fun? And now I'm paying for like my work health insurance, which is great. So my take home is less than when I was on EDD, but whatever. I'm glad to be back at work. A lot of my employees, though, are still doing both. We have a lot of employees. Well, not a lot. Like we used to have a lot. We brought back about 20 people. And there's a lot of them that are like, hey, Shelly, can you just schedule me 1 day a week? I had somebody that was like, I can work 3 days a week. And I was like, great. And so we gave her 3 days a week. And then she was like, oh no, that kicked me off unemployment. And like, since I'm not working 5 days a week, it was like significantly less. She's like, can I just work 2 days a week? Can those be short shifts? We're able to work with our employees And that's what I wish for all of you guys. I wish that you have an employer or find an employer that is willing to value you and work with you. That's my wish for you guys. And maybe, you know what, I'm going to have really good wishes. I hope that if that's not the case, that you find a better job than you had before all of this, and that you're able to like pursue your dreams. That is what I want for you guys. I'm going to get emotional again. What's wrong with me? Okay. Frank says, is the EDD going to be held accountable for the endless delays? No, they're not. Jenny Silver actually just did a video with an attorney. You guys, like, I'm some kind of weirdo. I find this stuff super fascinating. I don't always watch all her videos from start to finish, but like my eyes were glued to this. And according to that EDD attorney, and again, I'm not an attorney. I don't work for the EDD. Even that guy made a disclaimer that was like, hey, I am an attorney about EDD issues, but I'm not your attorney. So you would have to speak to somebody. But the language is they have to pay you in a reasonable timeline, right? So you would think, oh, 18 weeks is not a reasonable timeline. I'm going to sue the F out of the EDD. But you can't, because it's not a reasonable timeline, because the EDD doesn't have the resources and the programming and the computer programming. So 18 weeks is reasonable for them because they can't get it done any faster. It would just be like the only way that you could like sue them for all these delays is if like they had the resources and they were just like, I don't like Shelly because she's making all those EDD videos. So we're just going to push her claim to the side and not pay her timely, but we're going to pay everybody else timely. But since it's like a known problem that they're trying to fix and can't, there's no recourse there's no extra money. There's no lawsuit. They're protected. Guys, watch that video. It is super fascinating. It makes you sad and frustrated, but it's really fascinating how all that works. Bruv says, confused about federal extensions. I'm on one, but rumors are around that they may also slap new job requirements as soon as July or even June. But wouldn't this only apply to new claims, not extensions? No, not necessarily. The work search requirements could potentially change. I don't want to say at any time. It's not like it's going to be boom tomorrow and you're going to have to list where you looked for work. In other states, it seems like they've given their residents about a month notice before they start implementing the work search requirements again. So I would say that it's possible. I mean, anything is possible, but I would say that it's possible to expect that returning at some time in the future, since cases are coming down in California. I think we have like the lowest case rate in the United States right now. So it would be reasonable that they might ask for that to be reinstated, but I would expect, now it's the EDD. So even though I don't think it'll be like overnight that they would add that back, it might not be the month that some other states have given their residents. I would hope that they would give us at least a month notice before putting that back again. Okay. Lorena says, should I hit a reclaim button? So you mean reopen claim? I still don't advise hitting that stupid thing. I filed a new claim 4/18. It hasn't been 3 weeks yet. I did hit a $0 balance after filing my new claim. So should I wait? So it sounds like after your new year, you were able to certify and then your balance went to 0. Have those weeks been paid yet? Are you saying it hasn't even been 3 weeks for them to do that third-party review? Oh, excuse me. If it's been 3 weeks since you've been paid, I would call and just make sure that the only thing you're waiting on is the claim review. Okay. I'm going to take a drink of water. You guys please like the video. That reopen claim button, still the advice is not to hit that thing. Call a rep and get them to remove it, unless, like, so I'm back to work right now. I'm not claiming unemployment benefits. So if for some reason my theater shut back down again and I did need to get unemployment benefits again, that's what that reopen claim button is for. It's for somebody who has returned to work. They're within their benefit year. They didn't need benefits for a while, so they weren't certifying or weren't collecting. And I think it's 4 weeks. That's when that reopen claim button would pop back up. If it's up for any other reason, it's not supposed to be there. So you guys gotta call to get that to be removed. Peter says, my balance is 0 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to It says set a fire. Please don't set a fire today. You mean certified. You were supposed to, I just spit. I got so excited. You're supposed to set a fire today. And you did. And now it's saying not paid. And my balance is only $1,200 and it's supposed to be more than that. I don't know what to do. So I would call them on that. It gives me no pleasure in telling you guys that. I know that calling is a pain in the you know what, but I would call them not paid. It can sometimes be because, like, if you did file a new claim, like both claims are trying to like take precedence. So one might be not paid because the other one is supposed to be paid, but you're going to have to call to find out exactly what happened. Disqualification can also be that as well. And it's nothing that you could have done to like certify on the right claim. It just takes you to whatever page it takes you to. But sometimes if you're certifying on the old claim, but you're really supposed to be getting paid out on the new claim, it'll say disqualification on the one that you just certified for. And that can happen in reverse too. You didn't qualify for a new claim, but you certified on that one. And again, there's not really a way to know. And so then the new one says disqualified because you were actually supposed to be getting paid on the old one. So that's sometimes why that can happen. But unfortunately, the fix is call the EDD and get a rep that will help like undo that mess and make it so that you're only certifying on the correct claim. Okay. Savannah. Oh, I lost my place, guys. So I'm going to take a random comment from the Classics. Says, I'm concerned why it hasn't given me the option to certify. I'm on extension tier 2 augmentation and already had reapplied and the balance went up and shows the extension. Unfortunately for that too, I would call. If it's just not giving you a certification date to certify again, that to me sounds like something's wrong and that those reps are going to have to add that back so that you can certify. Okay. Sorry, scrolling back up, trying to figure out where I left off. Somebody says something's been hacked. Oh, Pauline is saying Claimyr is legit. You'll reach the EDD in less than 30 minutes. That's not always true. I will say that once that I used Claimyr on a Sunday, which you guys know that I think Sunday is one of the hardest days to get through. So if you can avoid it, I don't like to call on Sunday, but I called using Claimyr on a Sunday and it was like a minute. However, as Claimyr gets more popular, sometimes it's taking 2 hours for their services to get through for you to hold as well. So I'm glad that it took you less than 30 minutes, but I don't want to guarantee that. Someone else is asking if they are legit. It is legit, but it will only get you through to hold. And so you're going to use them. It's going to auto dial till it connects to the EDD. Once it connects to the EDD, your phone rings, but you can still hold for 2+ hours. And it's still the luck of the draw what kind of rep you get, whether they can actually help you or not. Ed EDD Edgar says, I mean, you can sue the EDD if you get a good lawyer. Not necessarily. You guys, please watch Jenny Silver's video. It's so good. And like, good on her that she did that work to like get that EDD attorney to come on her channel like that. I'm impressed. She hustles hard. Everything that she has made, she deserves that. Francis says, I want a job, please. Francis, I hear, this is actually true. I hear Claimyr is hiring customer service representatives. Bryant, oh, don't worry about donations. In some of my videos, because some of you have been watching, I did put a link. Please don't use it. Like, I'm not even going to tell you, but if you dig through the description on my videos, you might be able to find something. I don't need any, I don't want to say I don't need anything. It gives me joy to be able to help you guys. And so even just you saying that you want to do something is enough for me. Callie says, what about people that didn't have a button to reapply and there's weeks missing? You have to call them about that. You just do. I'm so sorry when that's the answer. Tia says, hi, do you have to resend a copy of your tax returns to continue your PUA if they send that letter? They're saying my PUA is ended even though my date was extended to September. It's weird. Help. That does seem weird. So when did you get that letter, Tia? Yes, if you got a letter requesting that, you do need to respond back to them. I think you have quite a while to get that back to them. So as far as I know, they should not have just stopped your payments. But I would call them to see what they say. All right, All Night says, I use the 833-978-2511. When the operator gives you the option, press 1, 2, and 1 again. You did it twice and it works. You had to wait about 30 minutes and you were told you have to wait 3 to 6 weeks to get paid. Okay, well, at least your hold time wasn't too bad and that phone trick worked for you. I have not tried out that phone trick. I usually wait for the long intro message and then quickly hit 1, 3, 4. With that 1, 2, 1 trick, that's also a quick 1, 2, 1. It's not option 1, then option 2, then option 1, as far as I understand it. But I have not had a chance to test that out. Leslie says the EDD is an absolute failure. I want all the money I've paid in for the last 40 years. Refund, refund, refund. Leslie, I'm not dragging you here. I thought this too, like at the beginning of all this pandemic. I thought I paid into it. We don't pay into unemployment insurance. Our employer does. That's completely funded by our employer. Now we have other taxes. We have payroll tax and we have state tax and we have federal taxes. We pay plenty of taxes, but our personal money, thank goodness, does not go into EDD. But all of our employers that we've had through all the years, they've paid into this. Our employers should be demanding better for us as well. Cal, thank you for the donation. Claim balance ended last Monday. You filed a new claim. Your balance is 0. You certify next Sunday. When will my balance go up? You got the letter for your extension. Cal, your balance will not go up until next Sunday. And then when you certify next Sunday, I honestly can't remember if it's right before or right after you certify. It might not even change until right after you certify, but that's when it should change. I do want to caution you that you might still stay pending for between 2 and 6 weeks, even after your claim balance goes up while they complete that third party fraud claim review. And that was actually my last video, was kind of about that. It's real short. I've got like a white background and a cute little stripy shirt. So it's going to be normal to see like $0 benefit, and then that claim balance will not go up. And the focus of that video was, yes, the extensions should be automatic, but they're not always. The EDD seems to miss it an awful lot of the time. So yeah, so you might have to call if your claim balance doesn't go up next time you certify. Oh dear. Francis says, can you do a step-by-step self TurboTax? I don't want to pay $175 to do taxes. I can't afford it. Help. Have you started the process, Francis, on TurboTax? Because it's pretty easy. My taxes, my personal taxes, I actually finally just did them and I got a refund back, which I was actually kind of surprised. It is, it's pretty messed up because I had YouTube money. I had like, I guess I didn't know this, but all those Webull referrals, I had to report that I got bonuses for that. I had regular W-2 wages. I had YouTube wages. Like it was weird. I do own my house, so I get to claim, I call this the blue room because it's blue. So it makes sense. But anyway, my personal taxes were a mess. So you don't want to see my step-by-step, but TurboTax is pretty easy to use. Like the prompts are pretty easy to use. So you might want to try that. And if you don't agree with it, or like if you get stuck, you can you don't have to submit them like that day. You can come back and look at it. You guys, I know a lot of my employees would bring me their tax returns to work and they would be like, help. So maybe you've got a friend or an employer or somebody that can help you. All-Star Money Man says they didn't hire more reps. They got more lazy working at home. We got duped. Could be. Because I got another good video coming up. You guys are going to love it. It's about whether the reps are actually helping us or not. Okay. Augustine, thank you. Thank you. I'm still like scrolling up. I lost my place and now I've just gone rogue. I'm just skipping all over the place, but I'm scrolling up instead of down. So hopefully some of you are still in here that I'm scrolling up to. EDD Edgar's, I called one time around 10 or 9 and got through. That is amazing, but then you had to hold for 4 hours. That is not the whole time. I thought the whole process would have been 4 hours. I'm surprised that you got through on the first time and then had to hold for 4 hours. That's a long time. Guys, and that's my other tip. If he would have done that at 6 p.m., the EDD would have been closed after 4 hours. So call before 6 p.m. because otherwise there's going to be so many people in the queue holding to talk to a rep that you're probably not going to get through to a rep if you call after 6 p.m. That would kind of be my advice, even if you use a dialing service like Claimyr, since you do still have to hold, you want to make sure that apparently we have to allow 4 hours for hold time. So you want to make sure that you are allowing enough time to hold. Oh, I want to see, somebody used a mind blown thing, and Rob says, it isn't just Jenny making it sound difficult to get through to the EDD. That's because it is, not to be, uh-oh. Are you guys saying bad things about my girl Jenny or about me? I know people are really maybe it's time to say this about Claimyr again. People think it's a robo dialing thing. It's not. It's an auto dialing service. So EDD Edgar got really lucky. He got through on his first try. I had the day when my phone overheated, I called 83 times back to back to back to back. So basically, instead of me calling 83 times back to back to back to back, Claimyr does it for you. So they're saying, and I don't quite get the technology, I admit that, but they're saying that they're not adding to the problem. It's just instead of me making those 83 calls, Claimyr's making the 83 calls. So you should, it shouldn't, for those of you that don't want to use Claimyr, I still do recommend trying for free. I really do highly recommend that. And supposedly Claimyr's not making it any harder for people to get through that don't want to pay. And again, if you don't want to pay, I recommend calling 833-978-2511. I'm saying it fast because I bet most of you guys know that number. Then quickly hit 134. Patricia's giving out a secret number, guys. And I'm seeing a lot of people be able to call their local EDD offices and get kind of through to a switchboard and then be able to transfer. I don't recommend that because it's not a published number on the EDD website. I'm only comfortable recommending either the 833-978-2511 number or 800-300-5616. Only the recommended numbers published on the EDD website am I comfortable recommending. So also, I don't know if that says anything with my comfort level about Claimyr because I know there's some security concerns surrounding them, but I do trust them. They're dialing the 833-978-2511 number, and they're just connecting you once they get through. It's not some different number that I think would compromise your information. I'm really cautious about stuff like that, guys. So just know that I would only recommend something if I felt that it was trustworthy. And again, not recommending that you use it. I think it's bogus that people even feel like they have to use a paid service to get through, but just so many people have said that they're happy using it. That's the only reason why. Welcome, Nicole. Okay, I am going to start scrolling back down to more recent comments. Let's see what we've got here. I will say one stupid thing about Claimyr. Well, while I look, I think the CEO watched my live last week, but here's the thing. I thought it was Claimyr because follow my logic here, guys, right? The abbreviation of week is WK. The abbreviation of month is MO. So the abbreviation of year is YR. So why aren't they Claimyr? But he told me it's Claimyr. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you on your pronunciation of your own company's name or maybe they didn't think that through very well. In my mind, it's Claimyr, but they tell me it's Claimyr. Okay, enough about them. Callie Beauty says you should reapply. You will get the extension. Yep. If your benefit year is over, you guys have to replay. Diana, I haven't seen you in here in a long time. So hello. I don't know if I've just missed you, but I definitely recognize your name. So I like seeing you here. At this time, you're not having any issues with the EDD. Please tell me how to donate. Don't worry about that. Recommend the channel. Share my Claimyr link. I do get referral bonuses. If you have friends that are struggling getting through and they're over it and they can afford the $15, that's a great way. And just like by watching the videos or like running a playlist in the background all day. But if you dig through the descriptions on some of my videos, like my really recent ones, because so many people have asked, I did add a little way to donate, but you guys do not have to do that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like you guys just, everybody that has used Claimyr is like, I love it. I love it. So if you guys love it and you're going to use it anyway, might as well save the $5. Again, that's only on the first time you call. If you have to call the EDD multiple times, and I know a lot of us have, it's going to cost you the full price. And you can't use my code one time and Jenny's the next. It's like it's tied. It knows your phone number. It does know that. So it's going to know not that you've already redeemed the discount. All right. Spanky really has a question here. Oh yeah, guys, if you can do the Spanish line, a different language line, oftentimes that will get you through faster as well. Spanky said, I changed my address and they are sending checks. When will I get my checks at my new place? It should be like on the same schedule. Make sure that you've, updated everything, that you've given a forwarded address to your post office as well. Hiredy, thank you for the donation. Oh, Mayor Bear says, Jenny is amazing, helpful, generous, and kind. I completely agree. She really is. You guys, we talk offline. She helps me with stuff. I would like to think that I help her with stuff, but I probably don't. I'm probably just a pain in her tush too. Spanky, I got to your comment now. So make sure that you've updated your address with the post office as well. Make sure that you've forwarded that. Also try an outstanding Spanky means that they have mailed your check. So if you're getting physical checks and you see payment status, I think it is, of outstanding, that just means that they've mailed you a check that you have not cashed yet. Yeah, Bryant is saying that the EDD phone lines are jammed today, and he's recommending calling tomorrow. I don't even recommend calling tomorrow. I do feel like the EDD lines are the busiest on Sunday because that's when we're all supposed to certify for benefits, and Monday because that's when everybody who got tired of trying to call on Sunday goes ahead and calls on Monday. So if you can wait till Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those are the days I would recommend. And then again, don't call after 6 because the queue to hold is going to be too full. Hiredy, you're welcome. You got yours fixed and paid and you certified again. And all of they're pending. Wait, so are you saying that you got everything paid, it was fixed, and now you've certified and it's pending again? Some people are reporting issues. I don't even want to say this out loud, where like every time they're certifying, like that once they got stuck with pending and they had to call and get it released, that like now every time they certify, it gets stuck on pending and they have to call and get it released. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case for you. But anytime you guys have been pending for more than 72 hours, I do recommend calling. Even if that when you file the new claim, that new claim goes into review. So even once that new claim is in review, which can take 2 to 6 weeks, I still recommend calling just to make sure that that's the only issue on your account, because sometimes there can be multiple issues. So I don't want any of my viewers just sit back and do nothing, being like, oh, well, Shelly told me it would clear up on its own, and in case there's something else that's not going to clear up on its own. I just want you guys to be proactive on finding out what's wrong and maybe asking these dang reps a timeline too. EDD Edgar says, I think we need to protest to make our voices be heard. Earlier in the pandemic, I was like, I don't think that's a good idea, guys. Like, I'm a little nervous being that close to other people, but cases are down. Actually, in protest, you actually are still supposed to wear masks, I believe. Large gatherings, protests, things like that. I'm kind of down. I'm not sure that they're not working from home anymore, though. I think they're not back in the office yet. You guys are referencing Jenny, and it's making me think that maybe somebody said something bad about her. I really like Jenny. I respect her. I respect her hustle, and I love, love, love her video with that attorney. That's like great that she got them to agree to do that, and it's a really interesting video. So if you have not checked that out, check that out. Patty, thank you for the donation. I certified by automated line, first time calling, not working, but got EDD text alert to say to look for email or letter to file a new claim. Okay, so you're saying that when you certify weekly, you normally do telecert. So that's fine on telecert to certify, but if you need to file a new claim, don't click any weird links either, guys. Like, even if it looks legit, just don't click links, go to your UI Online homepage and see what it says there. At the end of your benefit year, if you're not on PUA, you do need to file a new claim. You can either file a new claim by having a rep help you file a new claim over the phone, or by hitting file a new claim when you go to UI Online. I know some of you, I'm not the best with computers, so like no shade if you're not good with computers. I'm really not. Maybe, so if that's your case, maybe you can have someone help you file a new claim online. Otherwise, call and see if they'll help you file a new claim over the phone. So yeah, you would need to do that if you're not on a PUA claim and it's been more than 12 months since you first opened your unemployment claim. Okay, I know. I worked all day yesterday. She actually showed me a little screenshot of her fake press release, which it is a parody. It's meant to be comedy. I know that much because she was like, "Oh my gosh, Shelly! Like, some people thought like I was being serious," and I was like, "Well, at least your viewers are like ready to like defend you." I like all I looked at, because I want to be surprised when I watch the video, is like, I know she has a little sloth instead of the EDD logo, which is super cute. But yeah, I want to see. Oh my God, Spanky, are you the one that you said that the collaboration between me and Jenny was greater than the Louis Vuitton and Supreme collaboration? Because that like made my day. Spanky, I don't know where exactly your check is, but make sure to put a forwarding address to your post office. Patricia, you're welcome. Daniel says, just keep calling. Call the EDD. You will get through the phone lines. It would take a long time, but it works the best. Best advice is take your own advice. Yeah. And I do. However, right, like you guys know I watch Graham Stephan's channel a lot, right? He's a financial YouTuber, and he's like constantly thinking like, what's the best use of my time? He thinks about money a lot, right? And I'm not gonna lie, my channel is called Shelly's Millions. I want to do financial advice. So sometimes you have to weigh the pros and cons. Like, if the time when I called 83 times back to back, I want to say took 2 hours, a little over 2 hours to get through to a rep. What could I do in that 2 hours? Could I spend that time with my mom? I don't have kids, but if I did, like, could I spend that time like with my kids? Like, could I spend that time making another YouTube video that then might help boost my income or gain me more subscribers? Like, if I fry my phone because my phone overheats because I've called back to back and then I have to spend $1,000 on my phone, then that's not worth it. So to some people, spending the money to have a service like Claimyr call is worth it. But yes, calling on repeat for free will still work. But the dialing is the most frustrating part to me, because like, you can't just put that on mute and listen until someone picks up. You have to actively redial. Yeah, Patricia, you're saying that your payment goes on to a card, but when it says outstanding, that generally means that a check has been mailed. And I think that Spanky said that he was previously getting checks, but he's moved. Rich, hello. Would I watch Meet Kevin if he ran for governor? I have not seen that. I haven't been sometimes the guys, like, some of these YouTubers I feel like are posting too much. I haven't watched Meet Kevin real recently, and I'm not sure I would vote for him if he ran for governor. Is that also a parody like Jenny's EDD news release? Scotty, Phone hearing for your appeal is on Thursday, hoping for a quick resolution, and the EDD is sending me the ruling notice in the mail. I am too. I hope that that goes in your favor. And of course, I hope that that goes quickly for you as well. Scotty, is this a phone determination or is this actually the appeal? I'm very curious how long the appeal process lasted for you. Yeah. Mermaid Girl says, how long does it take them to fix an award letter? They had to fix mine and resend it. It's been almost 3 weeks. The EDD to fix anything takes a really long time. So, I'm not sure. You could try calling them and say, hey, you told me you were going to fix this 3 weeks ago and that you were going to send me a new award letter. Can you tell me how long it will take? Okay, Crystal. Wait, you guys, I get really nervous about people sending other people text messages, unless it's me, but you guys don't have my number. So please, please, please be careful. Brian, I don't know Bryant Hernandez, guys. I hope that he's being helpful, but I trust a service like Claimyr, who at least is a registered business, right? I don't trust I don't trust anyone easily, guys, but I just don't want I don't want any of you guys to get taken advantage of. Yes, call the EDD yourself, 833-978-2511, long intro message quickly at 134. Savannah wants to know, is there a minimum benefit amount to qualify for the extra $300? You do have to make at least $1. So if you're someone who's back to work and you get that excessive earnings message, you're not going to get any boost that week. But as long as you get at least $1 from the EDD, you also get that extra $300. All right, Rich, so that was a parody video. I'll check that out maybe on my way to my mom's. Bryant, I don't trust anybody. So I'm going to caution my viewers not to trust you either. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure you're trustworthy. I would like to think that everybody in this world is good, but they're not. So I cannot vouch for Bryant's helpful information. Bryant, I don't know. I don't have time to respond to people on Instagram, but I do try and keep track of my regular viewers and everybody. So interact with the channel. Let me see your good intentions. Let me see your knowledge. Then maybe I can vouch for you. Even the numbers that I know go to local EDD offices, I don't recommend those because it's not a published number. Bryant, I am serious. Please don't hate me. Anthony says, no question, just stopping by to, thanks, Bad Grandpa. Thanks, Anthony. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, I haven't seen your tip then. Bryant, what's your tip? Show me your tip. Wait, that sounded weird. Show me what your EDD tip is. All I know is that you're telling people to reach out to you, and then that makes me nervous. I'm always nervous when anybody says reach out to me. Yeah. That was an accidental weird statement. Okay, we're going to move past that. Maria, can I still certify for benefits? My UI claim has expired after filing a new claim. My claim is invalid under section 1277. So yes, you can and you should still certify. It's okay that you got the 1277 invalid claim notice. That means you're going to stay on your current claim at your current weekly benefit amount, and they should automatically add the extensions to it. You guys are terrible. I did that to myself. So yes, continue certifying, but your claim could still stay pending for between 2 and 6 weeks because it goes to a third party for review, even when the new claim is denied. However, if it is more than 2 weeks and you've been pending, I do recommend calling the EDD after filing the new claim to see if they can push the payments through. Yes. Yeah. Okay, you guys. Warren says, what is the requirement for the third extension? You've not worked for over a year. I got your letter that your reapply is invalid. Why? It's invalid because you haven't done any work. And don't worry about it saying invalid claim. I got that letter too. Getting that, it just means you don't qualify for the new claim, but that means that you'll be kept on the extensions on your existing claim through September 4th. Yeah. Dang it, guys. All right. I'm so sorry. It's gotten a little crazy. I accidentally said, yeah. At the end of these lives, it always seems to get a little weird. I hope this doesn't get flagged by YouTube and taken down. I mean, please give me the phone tip that you're sharing with my subscribers. Natalie, why don't they add my extension? They are supposed to do it automatically, but if it's been more than 2 weeks and you haven't seen the extension added and you haven't been able to certify, you're gonna have to call them to find out why. Jeremy says, I have a PUA claim and it's stuck on pending. I called the EDD and they said I have to file a new claim because it's been a year. Should I call the EDD and dock to tier 2? Are you 100% sure you're on PUA? PUA claims are not supposed to have to file a new claim. There are some claims. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to take like 2 more questions and then I got to go because the comments, and it's my own fault that the comments are out of control. Knock it off. Okay, haha. Let's move on so I can help people with their unemployment questions. Shoot. See, now I lost my train of thought. Hopefully, yes, hopefully everybody does get their money for the EDD. I have to move on. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. All right. George, what's your question? Ask me again. Bye, Bryant. You guys are terrible. It's my own fault. Oh yeah, we were adding, why don't they add the extension? So it's just supposed to be automatic, but sometimes you have to call and say, hey, I was supposed to have the extension added. It doesn't look like it's been added. I haven't been able to certify in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, however many weeks it's been. Ask them to help you. If they're not able to help you, that's when you want to reach out to your assembly member. Plur. Oh shoot, where'd Plurs just go? Plur says, my claim went from pending to paid, but I've not seen the funds on my bank card. Does the EDD give a new card when you reapply? No, they shouldn't. Those EDD debit cards are good for 3 years. So even if you were approved for a new claim, those payments should be going on the debit card that you already have. How long has it been since it went to paid? It shouldn't, like, once it says paid on your home page, it really should be there by the next morning. Sometimes that can take 72 hours, but it shouldn't take that long. It's usually there by the next morning. War MMA says, what is the timeline for an assembly member to get back to you with answers? It's been 2 weeks since you heard from him. Did you email them? That's why I like having an email, because then you can follow up and say, hi, I emailed your offices 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard back. Have there been any updates on my claim? Some assembly members, I have heard that they're not helpful. Others, including mine, got back to me within 48 hours. So 48 hours is kind of the usual timeline for someone to at least contact you and let you know that they got your email. Then a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, if they are able to help you, they're able to do it within 4 days. Okay. So that's why I like using them. And I really recommend email. That way you have written trail of when you sent what and what their response was to you. Versus a call. Again, here comes my not trusting people coming back into things. They can be like, oh, we didn't speak to you. We didn't get the call. You can be like, well, here's the phone number where I dialed out. But they can be like, oh, well, that wasn't me. So I don't know what they told you. Like, if they have to put something in writing, they can't dispute that. You could be like, well, you told me I'd be paid in 2 weeks and I'm not. Just gives you more ground to stand on. Wired Hardware says, spoke to a rep and they fixed my claim. Since I was still waiting for my 3rd extension, but now I'm under disaster assistance instead of PEUC. Is that right? And my amount is lowered. It's not right. It is not right. A lot of the reps a lot of the reps are doing things and they're not right, and it's making me crazy because it makes it harder to give you guys advice too when the reps are doing things that they're not supposed to. So here's what happened with that. It's not uncommon that the reps did that, so maybe that'll make you feel better. What happened is the reps were like, oh, I haven't seen this happen so much recently. It was happening before the programming was available for the third PEUC extension. The reps didn't want people to go all those weeks without anything. And so to try and get people paid something, they put them on PUA, but they weren't supposed to, and it messed things up. So I would call them again, and I would definitely email your assembly member about that and say, hey, I think they put me on the wrong type of claim. My benefit amounts been lowered. I thought I was supposed to go on the third PEUC extension. Yeah, because there should not have been a reason for you to go on PUA, except for I can say that at least the rep was just trying to make sure that you got paid without missing any payments. But yeah, it wasn't the right thing. And now it creates more work for you to try and undo what the helpful rep did to your claim. David says, I called the EDD, the rep fixed my last payment. He said he will reapply for me. My claim balance is 0. How long will it take? How long it would take to refill my balance has been almost a month. So it's been too long. I would call them again and say, hey, they said they filed for me. And also, David, have you been able to certify, but it's stuck on pending? If that's the case, your claim could just be in a review period. That could be normal. The reviews take between 2 and 6 weeks after you file a new claim. But if you're not able to certify at all, because your claim balance is 0, and normally you can't certify when that claim balance is 0. Normally your claim balance should increase by the next time you certify. So yeah, I would call them. George, it is crazy to have to pay to talk to an EDD rep, and you do not have to pay. The only reason why I share that and why I talk about it is because there are a lot of people that felt that it was worth it to use Claimyr. So if people are going to use it anyway, I don't want you guys to pay full price. I want you guys to, if you were going to use it anyway, to save $5. I still first endorse calling yourself for free, 833-978-2511. You have to call a lot. Claimyr claims that they haven't that it's not a robo-dialing service, it's auto-dialing. So it's not supposed to make it any harder for the rest of us to get through. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to pay. That's not what I'm saying, but when I say that I recommend them. But so many people have been happy using them that if you were going to do it anyway, save yourself $5. That's all. Oh, George, I'm not saying to email the EDD, although I do recommend that as one of the methods to try. I recommend 4 methods: calling them, using Ask EDD, using Contact Us. I recommend, if you're getting help from your assembly member, emailing them. That's who you want to email. Okay, Audio Crack says your benefit ended, so you filed a new claim and you didn't qualify. So you were put back on the Fed Ed extension, but you exhausted that due to a $0 balance in March. I call every single day until I speak to somebody and still nothing. Have you emailed your assembly member? That's the last thing I can think of. Okay. Danny says, do we need to fill out the work search requirements each week when certifying for a claim? No, that is still waived. So I do recommend answering yes to, did you search for work? But when it gets to the places that you need to actually list where you applied, you can just say skip, skip, skip. NC, thank you for the donation. You're back to work. Me too. Congratulations, I hope. I hope you feel safe going back to work. You have a new benefit year and you got paid $370 for a week. You only make $56. Is that normal? Should I just certify and report wages? Yeah, you might as well, because if you qualify for anything, then you get that $300 bonus. If you qualify for even $1, I have some of my employees are like, hey, Shelly, I can come back to work, but is it possible to just work 1 or 2 shifts a week? And these are good employees that I've known for a long time. We want to work with them. We want them to come back more after the pandemic is totally over. But I also want them to be able to pay their bills. And until I can offer them full-time hours, which I can't right now, I want to work with them to make sure that they can still pay their bills. So maybe your employer would work with you as well. But yeah, might as well certify. the worst that would happen is it would say excessive hours. And if it says, excessive earnings. If it says excessive earnings, then that week means you don't qualify for benefits that week. But then there might be times when you do qualify, so you might as well certify. Audio says, you did and filed out documentation from the assembly member and did follow up through the remaining, and they told me EDD is behind because of so many claims and to please be patient. Yeah, unfortunately, audio, that's the last tip I have. I don't work for the EDD. I can help you maybe understand why some of these things are happening, but unfortunately, I can't speed up the process. I don't have any tools in my arsenal beyond those for tips, and I understand that that's frustrating. If I ever do learn of anything else that will help you, I will definitely share it. But yeah, they are behind. I had a coworker that was like, why is it so hard to get through? Like it would seem like things are getting better. But what has happened is like the pandemic struck at once. So we were all laid off right around the same time. So now all our benefit years are ending at the same time. So we're all needing to file claims at the new time. Then those are getting stuck on pending. And so now we all have to call at the same time, which makes it hard to get through. It makes a backlog for the EDD. And unfortunately, sometimes the answer is just to wait. I'm so sorry. I hope you're able to make it. There are other resources, like if you're behind on your rent, communicate with your landlord. See if they will work with you. Let them know if you need to be late on your rent that it is due to the COVID-19 pandemic, because there is an eviction ban. There's no shame in getting food stamps. There's no shame in getting food banks. I also haven't recommended these things in a long time, but check these things. Whatever industry you were in, like I work at a movie theater, check movie theater grants, California, movie theater grants, Los Angeles County, movie theater grants, Pasadena, California, which is a city. So check grants in your industry. That grants are basically free money for the state, the county, and the city, and see if there's any resources there. Sometimes there's charities that will help you, because I know it's really hard to wait. Okay, skipping around again. I know, whatever. Let's go for about 9 more minutes. You're welcome. And audio. I'm actually not in Pasadena. I just gave that as an example. I did go to school in Pasadena, though, when I was younger. I grew up there. We're not hiring. We had about 100. Oh, you have an infant. You know what, though? Claimyr, I don't know if they've hired somebody, but a little while ago, they were looking for a customer service representative, someone to respond from emails. I do understand it's a work from home position. The EDD is also hiring, and I think that's still work from home. Household supplies. Oh, audio. A lot of people are struggling from, I'm going to cry now. No, I'm not. I'm not going to cry because I got my makeup done. But I do get emotional. A lot of people are suffering from depression through this. And I've said this before. I haven't seen you in my chat before. Had it not been for YouTube and like feeling like I was helping you guys, like I don't know how I would have made it through this pandemic. There are, type in charities for things like diapers and formula and toothpaste, whatever else you need. Even if you're not Catholic, I've heard that the Catholic charities are really great. You do not have to be Catholic to draw upon their resources. Their job is to help people in need. Wonderful Life says Claimyr is not properly paying for referral bonuses. Try and Google like their CEO and get in contact with him and reach out to him and see if he can help move that along. Yeah, I'm like an emotional person, you guys. Like I really feel for people. And I know that a lot of people were depressed. I'm not quite making, I know Jenny Silver, she's donated to her viewers. I'm not quite making that kind of YouTube money yet. I hope to be one day, but I actually donated $100, which is a lot of money to me, to the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, because I had somebody tell me that they had to talk their friend out of taking their own life. This pandemic has hit everybody really, really hard. So I even streamed on Thanksgiving because I didn't want anybody, we were all supposed to be quarantined. We weren't supposed to be seeing our family. I streamed just to stream on Thanksgiving. I don't know that it was all that exciting, but I didn't want people to be alone on the holiday. Like, it's been bad. Pauline, when is the pandemic over? I don't know. Not quite yet. Shane says, I worked for a Catholic charity and we would give diapers and everything. Yes. Shane, I don't know if you know the number of that Catholic charity. Maybe you could share that. Karen saying Foothill Family Services in San Gabriel is a great charity. Yeah, Google, like, again, just like with the grants, Google like charity, like diaper charity, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what would come up for that. But try it. Diaper charity for California, diaper charities for Los Angeles, diaper charities for Pasadena, state, county, city. You want to look for grants in each of those categories, and then charities in each of those categories to try and get the assistance that you need. Did EDD stop giving the people the extra 300? They shouldn't have. That is supposed to go through September 4th. Charlie, thank you for saying that. I really do. They call me like a bleeding heart, like I really like helping people. I wouldn't make a good governor because I think you have to not like people to be a governor. You have to be like a shady person. I'm not good at being shady. And also, as you guys may have witnessed slightly earlier in this live stream, I also tend to accidentally say things where I put my foot in my mouth. They don't come out quite how I mean. I know with politicians, that kind of thing, you can't do that kind of thing. I just say whatever I'm thinking and then uh-oh, that wasn't, it didn't sound quite right. Yeah, Google them and you had many numbers. Google Catholic Charities of Los Angeles, Inc. Yes, there are a lot of resources and, just don't feel alone. Audio, like, I've said this before too. You guys can come and just vent on my channel and be like, I hate the EDD. They suck because of this. I don't recommend talking down to anybody else, and I won't tolerate you guys being unkind to me. But like, vent your frustrations. Let it out, man. Because I do. I understand it. Luigi says, any tips to get your EDD debit card unlocked? The EDD locked it. I don't have tips for that. I will look into that. So they froze your debit card. It sounds like they're supposed to unlock it, but the communication, because they're different agencies between the EDD and the Bank of America, is not good. And that's going to be a hassle probably with the EDD sending you to the Bank of America sending you back to EDD in an ongoing cycle. Try your assembly member, let them know what's going on, see if they can intervene and get you help. The other thing is, what I've heard some people do is when they either call the Bank of America, get a Bank of America rep, probably work better the other way, and then ask if the rep would stay on hold with you while you call the other agency. Family services, Google family services, and then like your city. Victor, okay, I'm gonna really just do, guy on YouTube. F the EDD. There you go. Buy my CDO. That's going to be your song. Pauline says, praying changes things. God has plans for everyone to succeed. Yeah. Whatever religion you are, to whatever God you pray to, I do recommend that as well. And just trying to have a positive outlook. Oh, Brian, are you back? It's funny. That's the fake world we live in. You get past everyone else. Uh-oh. What? Okay. Shane says the EDD ended in my regular UI when 1 year ends in September. What shall I do? September's a long way away. Hopefully the economy is better by then and that there's good jobs. Maybe I have a lot of people that recommend just learning everything on YouTube. So try something that you're passionate about and try and get good at that in these next few months from home, from YouTube. Like Michael, I don't always know anything either. A lot of times the answer is to call the EDD because it's hard the thing that makes it hard to give you guys the individual help that you need is, one, I don't know all the details of your claim. There's not enough space to type it all in the little 200 characters or whatever that you're allowed. And then the other mystery element for us is we don't know what these reps have done to your claims. I think half the time other reps that have access to like the computer and can like see your claim, I think half the time they don't even know what the other reps did. So for Jenny and I to try and figure out what the heck is going on with someone's claim while we can't see any of the details, it would be impossible. And so unfortunately, the answer is to call the EDD an awful lot of the time. And I apologize for that, but yeah, that can be. Kareen is saying to apply for rental assistance. Kareen, do you happen to know the website offhand to do that? Sexy little redhead. That's a cute name. Anyone have a message in the portal for a person for an in-person interview? What's that about? So it is still my understanding that the in-person interviews are actually waived, and that will be a virtual interview instead. But call them to confirm that, because I wouldn't want you to miss an in-person interview. I actually don't even think that they're fully back in their offices yet. No, Anthony, that is not me. This WhatsApp, block that person. You're getting that on your phone and it's somehow coming from my channel. That is not me, because I'm never going to ask you to call me personally. Please don't send any personal information to anybody. I know Jenny always beats me to like making the videos. Like sometimes they're ideas of mine and I'm like, yeah, Jenny made it, so they'll know. But I know not everybody probably watches her channel. But anybody asking you, even if it's my same profile picture, I don't know how these scammers do it, but they're able to like copy our faces and our profiles. I will never ask you to call me, especially not WhatsApp, and it's all spelled out really funny. And like, I really hate those people. I try not to hate, but man, I don't like scammers. That is not me. And I'm so sorry about that. AC Hits said, I certified on 4/25 and my payment is still pending. This is the first time it happened. Did I do something wrong? What should I do? My feeling is that it is probably past your benefit year and you probably just certified or filed a new claim, and your payments go to pending for anywhere for 2 to 6 weeks while your claims are in a third-party review. So that could be what that is. But again, I would call them to confirm that that's the only reason that it's pending. Okay. Let's do Kareen's question, and that's going to be the last one for today. What happened if we never worked since the beginning of the pandemic? Are they going to extend our claim? They are supposed to, and it's supposed to be automatic. Not working since the start of the pandemic, since you first filed your unemployment claim, is supposed to mean that even though you have to file a new claim, that it's not going to be approved. It'll be denied. You will likely get the determination of invalid claim letter 1277. Once you get that, don't worry about that. You need to be denied the new claim in order to have the extensions added to your existing claim and be paid on those. However, filing for the new claim does trigger the third-party review that's going to take between 2 and 6 weeks to complete. So you might stay pending for a while, but they are supposed to update the claim balance and add those extensions automatically. But notice I say should, because I say should pay you because in the past, even though the extensions were supposed to be added automatically, they weren't, and then you had to call. Oh, nope. Joseph has a really good question too. So we're going to do, man, you guys and your good questions. All right, I'll stay for a minute longer. Joseph's might be the last one. After reapplying, you were given more money in your claim, but you got disqualified these last 2 weeks. Any idea what this is? It's a computer glitch. It's sort of a glitch. So I can explain this, but the short answer is you're going to have to call them to get them to remove it. So what it is, when you qualify for a new claim, chances are when you certified on the old claim. There was no way for you to pick what claim to certify on or what claim not to certify on. It just loads up whatever you got to certify and you answer the questions. But what has likely happened is the computer loaded the wrong claim for you to certify on, probably the old one in your case, it sounds like. So when you certified on the old claim, but you qualify for a new claim, the old claim gets disqualified. So that's why you're seeing that disqualification there. So they just need to move the disqualified weeks on the old claim over to your new claim so that you can get paid those weeks. So that is most likely why that's happened. I hope that was a good explanation for that and that it made sense. But unfortunately, you are going to have to call them to get that moving again. Okay, guys, I got to go see my mom. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I go live again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Monday if you missed any part of this. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.